Usually that only happens once. Cool. Uh, we will start in approximately 1 minute, 8:03 Eastern time, of course. Hey there, Lefty. Welcome back. Twitch can be weird sometimes, so if there are a lot of viewers, then it is not updating for me quite yet. Um, I know there's more than what Twitch is saying because I only see Cinder and Dark Broccoli on so far. Okay, I think we should just get started. So, I'm ready when you are. Cool. I'm just gonna get started so you can unmute combat, but welcome everyone to the THL Team Power Rankings Playoff Edition. I'm here joined by Combat Wombat,
Hello, everyone.
and this week it's gonna be a little different. I know we have some regulars in chat, but we're gonna change it up a bit. So we're gonna have 3 segments today. First is going to be a power rankings of the top 8 in playoff teams. So cut out all the 12 eliminated teams, and we'll see which ones we think are the best of the remaining. We're going to move on after that into a pick'em segment. So we'll go through one by one each match and collectively choose a winner. Then, just for a little kick at the end, we're gonna look at the first week's power rankings and look how wrong we were, which will be pretty fun. Cool. So without
All right,
further ado,
let's do this.
yeah. At number 8, combat. Why don't you
8.
start us off?
Glad to. So, um, for our power rankings this week, we're heavily favoring game win percentage. During the season, match win is important, but at this point, it's all about the games. It's who can win 3 first. So, in that, we're putting the doghouse down in 8th based on their overall even 50-50 game win during the season.
Yeah. Um, I also just looked at just their team, and I think that they have a lot of really good players on their team, but at the same time, there are definitely you can find places to poke holes in them. And they're facing the Stubbies first, and they as a team just feel personally like one of the weaker teams. So I'm putting them down here because of that combined with the win percentage on their season. Um, so yeah, I think that just a side note here, all the teams in this top 8, you guys are playoff teams, which means you're the best of the best. So because THL is obviously the best. So just because you're here, you made the playoffs, so there's nothing to feel bad about. And again, power rankings, we hope you prove us wrong. We want everyone to do well. Yeah,
And let's face it, on any given day, anyone can win. These are the teams that have gotten this far. Um, but somebody's got to be number 8. Thanks, Doghouse. Who's number Who's number 7?
let's find out. Oh, so we're different here. I have Swagboy. So for me, I chose Swagboy as they face Zenergy this week. I think that they have had a really good season. but and they scared us a few times. Uh, they looked like they were going to be a pretty easy lock into the playoffs around week 6 or 7, and then Heck Boys swept them, and all of a sudden Purple was just tossed up in the air, and they were able to pull through in the end. Um, but just looking at them from a team perspective, their win rates are fine, um, and they've had a lot of just really good players throughout the season doing well. Earl, Brasky, just to name a few. Um, they went 6-3 on the season, which was the best for any purple team, which is why I also put them above Doghouse. But uh, they went 22-21 on matches and 90-86 on games. So it was still within that very close. And uh, they just throughout the season, there are times when they lost some matches that they should have won. So they were a little inconsistent. And I personally feel like they have weaknesses in the five. Doc McButt has had a much better season this season than season five, I remember. But I think that between Brasky and Earl, they're a good team. They just have to be able to lock down wins with Tom Locke and Animore. So if they can do that, they'll easily move on. But at the same time, they're playing Zenergy, which is a pretty tough team. So I have them down here.
Uh, I'm I'm putting Stubbies in 7 on my ranking. Again, this is purely based on their overall game win percentage. They have the possibility to win here. I mean, they're facing Doghouse, so either of those teams certainly could prevail. I just feel that Stubbies, their overall game win percentage in the season doesn't look as strong as the other 6 teams above them.
Cool. Um, yeah, and I'll talk about Stubbies later, and when they're up for me. And once that happens, I
Mhm.
mean, we could talk about, our reasons why we put them higher or lower than the other person.
Mhm.
So let's move on. Moving on to number 6. Uh,
6.
yeah, so you start us off for 6.
All right, going to 6, I have Prep Coin Concede.
Hmm.
Um, Again, the overall during the season game win percentage between Doghouse Stubbies and Prep Coin Concede was close. Um, I see Prep Coin being slightly stronger than Doghouse and Stubbies, but again, all of them are coming in around 50%, which means you could call it anyway for any of them. I think those 3, Doghouse, Stubbies, and Prep Coin, all are very close here, but I see them being stronger than Stubbies, but not as strong as my number 5.
Yeah. Um, for me, uh, I have Thermic Whims here. So Thermic Whims was a team that was sitting behind Aeon for a little bit, and Aeon blew up their season around week 8, and they were able to get in past all the other teams in contention. Um, I think that they have a really strong team, especially for being a first year team. Uh, they and the Stubbies just have proven to us that it doesn't matter if you're in your first year, if you can get to your matches and work as a team, you can go far. That started with, me on HSA our first season, and now it's cool to see other teams doing well in the first season. But as a team, I think that I'm not too sure about all of them. I know from other players that Blood Hunter and Switters are good players. Gideon Juras had a fine season for first in the league. Uh, Risen has also done pretty well. And I know that Rankaloid has had a fine season also. So I remember towards the middle of the season, they were losing to some of the playoff teams you see today. And just a note that they are playing Team Golden West first round. And I think that out of all the teams on the side of Black, Sigrinal, Teal, that division, I think that for me they're the weakest. So that's my reasoning.
Mm-hmm. Thornquims.
Yeah.
All right, moving to number 5. I have I have Swagoy. Um, Again, Swagoy's win percentage is relatively close with Doghouse, Stuppies, and Concede. What I think they have that the others don't have is a better lineup right now. Earl is a really strong one seed. They're solid through two and three. Um, I didn't. I don't think they're quite as strong as the top four teams, but Swagger is strong enough where I'm putting them at five.
Yeah, it makes sense. They were doing well throughout the whole season, and
Mhm.
uh, honestly, I'm still kind of questioning where to put any of the purple teams, even to this day
Yeah.
when they're in the playoffs. Um, so for me, I have Prep Quint Concede. Throughout the season, I always rank them pretty highly. I think that the team composition is great, and just the players have proven that they've done really well. I talked about a few weeks earlier Cinder being a little bit of a question on the team because I think that Jetlaw, Rebobson, and Crackshot have held their own in their respective seeds. But Cinder, first season in the league, wasn't having a great season. The past 2 weeks, he's pulled out wins. So I think that with Cinder getting key wins for the team and uh, basically it being left down to Necrotic to pick up a win in the 5 seed, which I think is very, very possible.
Mhm.
I think that they have a great team composition. Not to say that their lower seeds are going to find tough matchups against Dirty Mike and the boys. I still think that just as a team, power wise, they're one of the strongest right now, even in the playoffs. So that's why I have them there. Cool.
Cool. All right. So for four, I have Synergy. Um, I like both JR Juggernaut and In Position as deck builders. I think they have a really interesting matchup this week with Swagoi, but overall, as far as power ranking and not matchups, I like Swagoi in my four spot. Sorry, Synergy in my four spot.
Yeah. So I have the Texas Stubbies here. This is more from just a personal experience against them. They really came out against us strong when we played them in the season, and just throughout the season, uh, I remember at the beginning people kept on saying about them that they haven't proved them themselves, even through three wins as a team in their first three matches. People were like, "Oh, they're not playing the best teams." But they picked up wins against Zenergy, against Swagway, against Doghouse, against these really good teams, and because of that, I have them. Oh, sorry, not against Swagway. Um, but even still, they have the second best team record in the league, and I'm believing in the stub. Always will, always have. So stub gonna get you, and they're gonna go far. I think. Besides, the close matchups that you have in blue purple, power wise, they're one of the top teams in the league.
Cool.
Yeah,
So now we move up to our top three. In the three, I have Thermic Whims. Um, base, Basically, in this, we're starting to get to the point where the top two teams both had very strong win percentages, which makes it so the the six below all were relatively close. But for me, Thermic Whims looked the best of the six teams below the top two. Their win percentage was a little bit better. Their lineup is solid top to bottom. Nobody stands out as a star, but all of their players have the potential to take a game. So I'm putting Thermic Whims at number three.
yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I put them pretty low, simply because I think that they're going to be playing some tough teams, but they themselves are definitely one of the better teams still. Um, For me, I have Zenergy here. I think that throughout the season they kind of played second fiddle to the newcomers Texas Stubbies, and just very very silently in the past few weeks they really started to get a lead on the Stubbies, or at least start to get a lead on them, and they pulled through this week, and now they're number one in blue. So I think that they kind of snuck under our radars. We all knew they were a good team, but we were also focused on Stubbies and how much of a mess Purple was at the time. So uh, I don't know. I just think that they are a really strong team. Looking composition wise, JR Juggernaut has done pretty well this season, moving up to the one seed. I know that Imposition was at the one seed to start the season, but had a little bit of a tougher time and went down to the three, won a few matches there. So now back at the two. Let's see if he can come back. Samu at the three has kind of been there for a while. Not exactly sure how Samu's season has been so far. I'll look that up while I continue to talk here. But I think that they have a Boom Boom Hall and Dexter can carry their own weight. Dexter went 3-4 in the season, but I still think is a really strong player at the 5 seed. So Samu went 5-4 is 5-4. Went 5-4 in the regular season. So also one of the better players at the 3 seed. Um, I think that, and also interestingly enough, they played a good amount of 2 seed matchups. So Zenergy Zenergy looks like they're a really strong team, and I expect them that they have a good chance of coming out of the blue purple division as one of the winners. It'll be tough, but they're my favorites for that.
Cool. So we move on to the top two, and I think both of us agreed that these are the two teams that have the best tech for it. However, they're going to end up playing each other in the semis. So not we won't face these two off in the finals, but at number two, I've got Dirty Mike and the boys. This is another team where we don't have the 1 seed and the 5 seed are in an interesting position. They start off at 420 power ranking and end at 266, which means they have a lot of power condensed in the middle of their lineup, which seems to have done for them over the season. They were winning 58% of their games.
Yeah, Dirty Mike and the boys. I think if you're looking at game win percentage, it's definitely one of the top teams. Um, so just a very interesting stat here that I had pulled up, and then I went to the player pages of the stat page. But Dirty Mike and the boys went 6-3 on the season, but they went 28-16 in matches, which is well above the average, except for Team Golden Wisp, which is an exception to everything here. Well above the average for match win percentage, and in terms of game win percentage, also well above the average there. So if you're looking at a good second place team, even though Stubbies had a better record, Dirty and Mike the boys were able to make the most out of all of their matches and all of their games. So that's what you need to do in the playoffs. You're not looking for the best record. In the playoffs, you're looking to just win the most amount of points. So I think that they are definitely one of the better teams in doing that. Uh, just if you just look at their total PR as a team right now, last time I checked, it was somewhere in the like 1900s. Uh, might have crept up to 2000 with a win this
Mhm.
week. Uh, no, now it's 1901, but still, that's pretty insane. So just shows you how that kind of competition, being able to stick together last season, and they've just gone off this season. I'm looking forward to their match if they play Golden West. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of that.
All right. So I think that makes it obvious that our 1 seed, both of us are placing Golden Wisps up in the 1 seed. Um, just simply on overall power, Golden Wisp have two 500 PRs and a 450 in their 3 seed. Um, it does leave them somewhat weak in their bottom two positions, especially because they do have a substitute this week. However, the power they bring to the top of their table is it's unquestionable. I mean, they didn't win, they didn't lose throughout the whole season. So I think it makes it very clear for them to be the 1 seed, and it'll be interesting to break down their matchups later on when we get to matchups.
Hmm. Yeah, Golden Wisp has sat at number one on my power rankings for I want to say the past like 7 weeks at this point. They've been there for a while. I think that they are just on a tear this season. They didn't lose a single game in the season. 30 match wins. That means 107 game wins. It just was one of the most dominant performances I think THL has seen. Um, so now they go into the playoffs, so they'll face teams they've beaten already, and if they make it to the finals, they'll have to face teams that they have not played against yet. So it'll be interesting to see if they get to the finals how that will look. They're definitely one of the favorites right now to get all the way, but I'll leave that for the second segment of the show, which we'll move to right now. Welcome everybody to the Pick'em segment of the show. So we'll be looking at the bracket and revealing what we collectively thought as a group, me and Combat Wombat, who was
Us
the
collectively.
yeah us collectively, who we thought was going to win each and every match. So let's start off with Team Golden Wisp versus the Thermic Whims. Combat, who did we pick?
Um, I called this 4-1 for Wims, and I think you did also.
Yes, I think that, or not Whims, Wisps.
Wisp,
Gold.
sorry. Wisps on Wims, fight.
um, yeah, I think that, like we talked about in the power ranking segment, they are one of the most dominant teams THL has seen, and I mean Thermic Wims is a playoff team for sure, but they can be playing a very tough team. Bloodhunter and Switters are both really good players, but I think that Flyest Lion, Sayer Yoon are going to pull out wins. What do you think?
Yeah, the only potential tipping point on this one is the substitute match. Bitbeaker is subbed in at the 4 against, and you'll pardon me if I say this wrong, Rankaloid.
I think that's correct.
I'm sorry, I haven't played him yet. I apologize if I got your name right. Um, that's that could be a tipping point if Golden Wisp loses that one and one of their other matches is drops. Then we could have it be. Then it could get more competitive. But overall, I see this one going pretty heavily toward Golden Wisp.
Yeah, I think that if you're looking at this competitively, Thermic Wims, if they want to pull out this win, they got to start really preparing for Seiyun and Flyasly, because Alec is a pretty big favor over Gideon Jura, and if Thermic Wims wants to win, they're gonna have to get wins out of Risen. They're gonna have to lock down against Bitbeaker. Bitbeaker is a pretty seasoned veteran now, but I think that Wrinkler can pull it off, and Bloodhunter and Switters. If any of them can pull out wins, I think that this becomes a lot closer. But until that happens, it's going to be a very tight match with Golden Wisp looking and sitting on top.
And for all you guys out there who are listening to this and saying we're picking against you, that happened to my team in SHL, and we let them hear it. So if we're picking against you, let us hear it.
Yep. um, Cool. So, yeah, so we agreed 4-1 in Team Golden was favor. And just a side note, these do not correspond to the rankings we just showed, because this was obviously us coming together to make these picks, whereas the rankings were personal, which means we also had to, if we had a team ranked higher than the team that someone else projected them to be, we'd have to compromise on that at one point or another.
Yeah, and ultimately, if we could seed this based on power rankings, we would get an interesting and different kind of setup. However, because of the way that the league setup happened, um, the matchups this week don't completely align to the power of the teams, which we'll see as we get into the next 3.
Yeah, so let's move on to Dirty Mike and the Boys versus Prep Coin Concede.
All right. So this is an interesting one, and it's real tight. We have Serlos playing Jetlaw, Lefty playing Rabobson, Arioki playing Cinder, Dirty Mike playing Crackshot, and Cody playing Necrotic. This could completely go either way. Jetlaw, who's playing in Serlos, I think he's the strongest, if not one of the strongest one seeds in THL. I like him. I like him over Serlos. Rabobson's a great deck builder. I like him over Lefty. Cinder and Arioki is close, and I think this is going to be one of the tipping points of it. We both liked Dirty Mike over Crackshot, and we're kind of even on Necrotic and Cody. So this one is close. At the end of the day, I think I was calling it 3-2 for Dirty Mike.
Yeah, I think that Cody wins the match versus Necrotic. I think that Dirty Mike can get a win over Crackshot, although I think that's closer than it looks because Crackshot has done really well in the past, and Dirty Mike is on a tear this season, though, so I'm going to give it to Dirty Mike. Also, just because we need to get as many pronunciations as for Rikokia on this show as we can, could you repeat that pronunciation? This is just for the record.
I have no comment.
Okay. We'll go
let
back
me
in the
tr- let me
pod.
let me try that. Let me try this again. Rick, wait, where are we? Is
Dirty
it
Mike
in
and the
this matchup?
boys.
Dirty Mike and the boys.
3 seed.
Karaoke?
Yeah, so we got Arrow Kiki at one point, Arioki, Erikoki, Erikoki.
Er- Eric
Um,
Koki. I think it's Eric Koki.
okay, we'll never know. So there it is. Um, but I have this being close, but I think it's a little more sided towards Dirty Mike. Um, So Jetlaw, I think, like you said, is one of the better one seeds in THL right now, and can pull
Hmm.
off a win against Surlos. Robobson also started the season off really well, and if he can bring that back this week, I think he can take the win against Lefty, who has been very strong throughout the season. Like you said, Cinder and Erakoki. Erakoki. You're making me say something else now.
Sorry.
It's all your fault. No. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that this is going to be a deciding match. Like I
Hmm.
said, I like Dirty
Agreed.
Mike and Cody over Crackshot and Necrotic, and I like Jetlaw and
Hmm.
Bobson over Lefty and Surlos. Um,
Same.
I Cinder, like I said earlier, struggled at the beginning of the season, but has kind of picked it up since then. And Irikoki has had a really strong season, otherwise. So just looking at that, it's really hard to decide. But I'm gonna give the slight edge to Rikoki here, just based
Hmm.
off gut feeling, and that's a bad thing to do. But he's just done well throughout the season. He's 5-4 in the season, whereas looking at this, trying to find it. Uh,
Well, let's get that match on stream.
yeah, let's get this match on the stream. But I cannot find. Oh, Cinder is 4-5, so it's close. And I do know Cinder got 2 of those 4 wins in the past 2 weeks, but Cinder's going to need to really, pull out a big win for the team here. And also, if any of those other matches swing a different way, then the team that swung the match is definitely favored.
Yep. All right. Let's look at Swagoy and Synergy.
Yeah. So we decided to put Zenergy here. I think. Um, oh no, I think we did, right?
Well, my read was Swagoy 3-2 over Synergy.
Okay, then I
I mean, again, it's real close.
yeah, I
And for the
think I
folks we're
put this
picking,
here just so that we could talk about it one way, but say that it was really close.
yeah, I mean, Prep Coin, Dirty Mike, Swagway's Energy, and Stubby's Doghouse are all tipping on one match or the other. I have them all very close, but I think for this one we could say Synergy or Swagway. But let's get down to the matchups.
Yeah, so at the 1 seed, we got Earl coming in for Team Swagway against Zenergy's JR Juggernaut. Um, what do you think
Earl
of
has been
this?
Earl has been really consistent this season.
Yeah,
Um, I like Juggernaut's deck building, but I think Earl really is locked in right now, so I'm calling it for him.
yeah. Like you said, both of them have had very successful seasons, but I do agree that Earl's just had just been very consistent throughout the season and has also played at the 1 seed for a good amount of the season, whereas JR Juggernaut, I know, started at a different seed. Pulling this up, Earl went 6-2 on the regular season. JR Juggernaut went 6-3, so it's a difference of one match. And if Earl lost the one match that they didn't play, then this would be a very close match. But I'm going to give this by a slight bit to Earl. 6-2 on the season doesn't really mean that they're better than JR, who went 6-3. But I think that they've played tougher matchups, and because of that, I'm going to give it to them. Moving on to the next matchup.
Stubbies and the Doghouse.
Oh no, we
Again,
we just looked at the 1 seed for Swagway's Energy.
oh,
Barely moved
sorry.
into it. No,
Sorry
me
about
too.
that.
I thought that we were moving on.
Tom Tom Locken in position. I haven't seen Tom Lock play. I know you thought well of his play. I know he had kind of moved. I think he started as the 1 seed. Is that correct?
I'm not sure of that. I can look that up while you talk, though.
Yeah, but um, Love in position does a lot of great stuff for our community. But I think we felt that Tom Lock had an edge in this one.
Yeah, I agree. Imposition struggled And yes, Imposition did start at the 1 seed and struggled,
Mhm.
fell down, I'm pretty sure, to the 3 seed for a week or two, and won those matches. But we'll have to see, is Imposition getting their game back, or is this are they going to take a loss to Tomlock? And I think that Tomlock, who's been playing more consistently at the 2 seed this season, will take the win. So I'm giving it to Tomlock here.
Um, 3 seed, Animor and Samu. Again, I haven't played Animor. They don't play in SHL, but I've played Samu in SHL last season. Was impressed with their play. Why don't you maybe speak to Animor a little bit here?
Yeah, so Animor is coming in uh, with a. I'm trying to look at this. Oh shoot! Darn stats page. Okay,
Oh, those stats.
look at all the stats. No, Animor's
Bad
coming
stats.
in.
Bad stats.
Like Animor comes in 4-5 on the season, and I think has lost one or two at the 3 seed so far. Whereas Samu is 5-4, so there's a difference of a match. Uh, Granted, Animor and Samu both play 2 seed matches. Um, I forget if Animor played at the 1 seed at any point throughout the season. Yes, at the start of the season, played a few games at the 1 seed. So
Mm-hmm.
did play tougher opponents. At the same
Mm-hmm.
time, uh, just Samu has had a better season overall. Um,
Yeah.
and I think this was the match where we were like, okay, this is gonna tip one way or the other here. Um,
Yeah. This is where we were kind of like saying it could go either way, but I think we called this one for Samu.
I think we did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Animor just hasn't been consistent enough for us to grant him a win against Samu. And I think that, like we said, this is one of the closer matchups, so it could go either way.
Yep. So below that, we have another two close ones, Brasky and Boom Boom Hall.
Yeah, Brasky has had a pretty incredible season. Started off really well. I remember when he was on the Power Ranking show with us earlier. Yeah, so Boom Boom Hall is only 2-2 this season. I'm not exactly sure uh, where the other 5 matches went, what exactly happened, but 2-2. Interesting though, with those 2 wins, Boom Boom Hall got 9. Okay, something can't be right here because apparently Boom Boom Hall has 16 game losses and 2 match losses. So interesting. That might be.
Bad stats. Bad stats.
I'm not sure exactly how the stats pages includes DQ losses. I'm not sure exactly Boom Boom Hall's status with that, but
Hmm.
Boom Boom Hall has done pretty well in the past, whereas uh, trying to find it here, whereas Brasky in the meanwhile is 5-4 on the season and has just had a pretty nice season to himself. So uh,
Hmm.
I think that I gave this one to Brasky. What about you?
It's hard for me to call this because I haven't played either of them before. Um, I think based on trending, I called it for Boom Boom Hall, but it's a real close one.
Yeah,
Um, in the five, we've got Doc McButt and Dexter. And I think with this, as much as we love Doc McButt and wanted to thought that way, I think we were seeing this as something where Dexter had a bit of an edge.
yeah. I think that Dexter went 3-4 on the season, but I know from personal experience Dexter plays extremely well, and Doc McButt has also been doing well this just better than at least in season 5 when I played him. Doc McButt is 2-6 on the season, and looking at this, Dexter is 3-4. Uh, I just think that Dexter plays the game really well. Not to say that Doc McButt doesn't, but I'm going to give Dexter the edge here.
Yep, that's how we see it. So again, this could go 3-2 either way. I think we're just simply calling it 3-2's energy.
Yeah, let's move on to
Our final
Stubbies.
matchup,
Yeah, Stubbies and Doghouse.
Doghouse. Cool. So kicking this one off, we've got um, Misadventure and Slip and Jemmy here. Um, Misadventure's for real. She plays a great game. I think she really understands how to analyze the matchups. I'm calling the first one for her over Slip and Jimmy.
Yep. Um, yeah, I think that Misadventure has had a really great season. I remember she played on stream one of the first weeks and just won, and it was pretty nice to just see a new players just come into the league and pick up wins on stream. I remember I was very nervous on stream the first time I played, and it was just very fun to watch, especially since I had my teammate over and we were just watching some THL, and it was just a great time. So Misadventure has played well the whole season, like you said, the real deal,
Mhm.
and we're gonna give her the edge here.
Second one, Nate and Yellow Dart. This one, and this is the only one where classes have been released. So we didn't look at the classes as part of this analysis because we didn't have that for all the other matchups. However, just on the merits of what we've seen up to this point, I saw Yellow Dart as being significantly stronger versus Nate.
Yeah, Yellow Dart played in the finals last season for only the finals on HSA. Unfortunately, I was not there to witness it, but uh, I think that Yellow Dart just has evolved from the sub in the finals who got a very clutch win, uh, went on to the doghouse with Anarchist, and just went on a tear this season. Pulling up the stats now, uh, looks like Yellow Dart went on the season 6-3. So first full season in the league and did really well. Whereas looking at who's Nate on the season, Nate went 6-3 also, and I think we talked about this. This was definitely up in the air, and Nate I think is slightly favored in classes, but I didn't want to base it off that. And
Yeah,
I want to believe in Yellow Dart here. I'm going to give it to Yellow Dart, but I do think if we're looking at it through classes, Nate is favored. So just something interesting to look at.
let's get that one on stream.
Yeah,
Yeah, just for people who haven't seen it yet, Nate picked Druid, Hunter, Priest, Warlock, and Yellow Dart picked Druid, Mage, Rogue, Warlock.
yeah,
Um, I'm people picking Mage either know exactly what they're doing or have no idea what they're. With Yellow Dart, I'd bias this to say he has a strong strategy and knows what he's doing. I just don't know how well it matches up versus Druid, Hunter, and Warlock.
yeah. I think that Mage just against those classes, maybe there's some form of Mage that Yellow Dart can whip up to counter those classes, but I just think that Mage as a class is uh, pretty unfavored against Hunter and Warlock right now.
Let's get that one on stream.
Yeah, a lot of these matches are very key, and any of them would be fun.
All right. Moving to the 3 seed.
So
Shun Shui
Shun's
21
yeah.
versus Chaotic.
So I think that we both felt here that uh, both of them have had, uh, their seasons haven't been uh, insane. Shunsui went 4-4, and Chaotic went 3-5. So uh, I think that this is closer, but I think we ended up giving the slight edge to who was it again? Blanking here.
Chaotic.
Chaotic. Yeah,
I I think I think Chaotic's deck building a little bit stronger in this case, and I think that's going to matter in these matchups.
yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, a lot like we said, a lot of these matchups are up in the air. Going through them one by one, it's hard exactly, but I think that we gave it to Chaotic based just off of who they played against and went against and such. So that's where we have Doghouse winning. We have them winning in the 2, 3, and do we have them winning in the 4? Uh, no.
All right, so let's go down. In the 4, we've got Mr. Mandingo and Jim Philos. Um, You had more. I haven't played against Jim Phillips, so you had a little bit more insight than I did. But in general, as a 4 seed, Mr. Mendingo is strong.
Yeah, Mr. Mandingo hasn't had the season that everyone was like very excited for out of the Mandingo. But 3-6 on the season, whereas Jim Philos is 6-2. Mind you, though, that stat is weighted because Jim Philos played, I think, a majority of his matches at the 5 seed. So
Mhm,
let's who knows if there was a big power difference in the 4 and 5 seeds. Um,
mhm,
but I think that they're both players that sorry, excuse me, when playing Hearthstone, they're just both fine players for the seed, and
mhm,
this one's going to be another close one. I think that uh, just looking at it now, I might give it to Jim Philos, uh,
mhm.
but it's tough either way. Like a lot of these matches, uh, it's whoever takes the up in the air kind of matches is going to be favored very quickly, in our opinions.
Yeah, I think this is the tipping point match. I think the other ones have slightly clearer edges, where this one is on point even.
Yeah.
Let's move to the 5 seed. Osmonaut versus the Anarchist.
Yeah, so this was another kind of tipping point match that we had. This
Hmm.
matchup was one of the hardest to pick, and don't feel like that. I personally don't feel that Doghouse is at all a clear winner over the Stubbies. Uh,
Hmm.
the checks for his energy over Swag going and Doghouse over Stubbies definitely could go either way, which is why we're
Hmm.
talking very in depth about each of these matches. Um,
Hmm.
so, Osmonaut versus the Anarchist, some things to think about. Anarchist played most of his matches in the, or not most, I think some of his matches in the 4 seed at the beginning of the season. I don't know how many exactly. But,
Hmm.
and with that, fell with Jim Philos doing really well, and Anarchist wasn't like doing even better than Jim Philos in the 4. Whereas if we're looking at Osmonaut comes out with a 5-4 record, which is the same as Anarchist. Uh, but Anarchist did play those 4 seed matches, which is why I think that in the end we gave it to the Anarchist, because just played against presumably better players in the 4 seed. Uh, yeah, that's my input on this. What do you think?
You know, I the only time I was scheduled to play Chase the Anarchist was in the playoffs last year in SHL, and somehow Chase got a DQ. I don't know exactly what happened, but I think he's going to be raring mad to win the darn playoff match. So I'm giving it to him.
Yeah, I
Mm.
yeah, just looking at this matchup, it's very either way here. Um, so we're not gonna I'm not gonna go ahead at least and completely say, oh yeah, Doghouse is winning this one for sure. Um,
Let's
yeah,
get that one on stream.
let's get a lot of these on stream. Playoffs time,
Yeah.
time to get some
Yep.
popcorn. Put on twitch.tv/Team Hearth League and refresh the browser 24/7.
Speaking of which, I think we've got playoff matches tonight too.
Oh,
Um, we've got one tonight, and tomorrow night we have the SHL final. I'll be casting with Robobson. So, got a couple good matches coming up. Let's we've now gotten through all this. Let's swing this over.
yeah. So uh, to end the show real quickly, we're going to look at the week 1 rankings that I made with Chigmo and you guys as a community put in. So I'm going to show that on screen right now. Um, let's go over it. I'll go over mine real quickly, and I'm just going to list them out. I'm not going to go over the reasons again because obviously I already did that. So I had Bad Hombres at number 20, Stubbies at 19, Philly Hearth at 18, Thermic at 17, uh, Get Off My Lawn at 16. I'm not going to actually go through them all. I'll just go through the notable ones. Defies Brotherhood at 10. I had Zenergy at 13. I had NWA at 9 and uh, Prep Queen Concede I did have up there at 7. I had us, the Heck Boys, at 5. I had Hearthstone Academy at 4, and Aeon at 1. Those are probably uh, kind of
Got
the.
about got about half of it right.
Yep. Um, so you can run over Chigmo's rankings, your pseudo Chigmo for now.
I am pseudo Chigmo. I have picked Bad Hombres in 20, Texas Stubbies, Philly Hearth, Get Off My Lawn, Synergy, Thermic Whims, Noob Central, Pod People, NWA, Always Top Deck Lethal, Swag Away, Defias, Netherstorm, Prep Queen Concede, Doghouse, Aeon, Heck Boys, Dirty Mike, Hearthstone Academy, and Golden Wisps.
I love the Hearthstone Academies at number 2.
Where did they come from? Yeah, like, and and everybody put them high too. It's interesting,
So
but
I think the big
oh well.
reasoning for this is they won season 5. They
Mm-hmm,
everything was against them in season 6, and they won season 6. You know, at this point, it's because A and B, C, and so let's just put
mm-hmm.
them high. Um,
Fair enough.
so obviously
Our
that
community
logic,
felt similarly.
yeah, the community put them at number 5.
Mm-hmm,
Obviously, just as a team, you know, having Dunamis on, I think that they didn't get rid of him, but they uh, replaced him somewhere in the season. Um,
mm-hmm,
and other than that, I think that they also replaced Zemos, I think. So who knows exactly what happens there, but I do think that they kind of just throughout the season they were, their roster looked like it could win, but they were just in a division with a bunch of teams that had rosters that I think just outplayed their team. Um, so yeah, hello to Dexter and Doc McButt. Also been looking at a few other people in the chat, but what's up?
yeah, we picked against you, but we're glad to have you.
Yeah,
So since we've got such a swell of folks in chat, let's do community questions.
yeah, guys.
But
What do you
but not
think?
everyone at once,
Not
please.
yeah. Don't just spam it. By the way,
Going
you are
on.
currently looking at the Week 1 power rankings, so feel free to ask why I put this team here or there. Most of the answers are going to be, I don't know, I was probably just putting them randomly in at one place or another. Um,
Be- because wine.
yes, I am 15 years old.
Bad stats, bad stats.
Bad stats.
All right, let's get some questions in here. Not everybody at once, please.
Me-
Doc,
Meanwhile,
Doc, hit us.
yeah,
Doc, hit us
come
up.
on, Doc.
Question.
Meanwhile, but while we get some questions coming in here, I put Aeon on number 1, and the reason I did this was their roster at the time looked really strong. They had players that had proven
Mhm,
themselves, and their new players in Dwayna, uh, we've seen them before on streams and such, so we knew what we were getting. Um, yeah, Chigmo put Swagway at 10. Proved him wrong. I put you guys pretty high, not above us though. Look what that did for our team. Um, but yeah, we talked about Hearthstone Academy. I think that we are pretty on the nose with Dirty Mike and Team Golden Wisp up in that area. Community, things to point out here, had NWA at 8, and I had them at 9. I think that, I don't know, I just personally, I looked at their roster and hoped that their core 3 players of the team would be able to have consistent seasons and carry the team while the other players would pick up wins here and there. So, yeah, so Doc, but this isn't the current thing, but so Chigmo, and that's Chigmo's ranking. So Chigmo chose against Swagoi, and this is not a
I didn't do
perfect
it.
pseudo Chigmo. This is not the current uh, thing, but Chigmo picked against you guys, I think, and put you at 10 just because. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure. They put you behind Defias Brotherhood. He put you behind Netherstorm. Um, so I don't know. You can ask him next time. Uh, yeah,
I would have picked Defias to win it, but anyway.
yeah. Defias number 1, right?
Yep. Not sure if you talked about it, just tuning in. What are your thoughts on how Wims and Stubby performed? Well, I'll pull you some stats on that. My thoughts are that so far, Wims has a 52.25 game win percentage, and Stubbies has a 50.27. Um, both of those are kind of bottom. Both of those are kind of bottom five here.
He's talking
With
for playoff teams, though.
Oh, as far as how they performed,
No, I said you're
it,
talking about
yeah,
that as their percentages. Their bottom five for playoff teams.
right. Um, Sorry, I thought we were talking about the power rankings here. Um, both of them, so both of them are in a position where they could win this week. They're both in very close matchups. However, they neither of them really distinguished themselves with their game winning percentages during the season.
Yeah. So I'll address your follow up to
Oh,
that.
as new teams.
Well,
Okay,
that
sorry
just
about
came in,
that.
so you didn't. Uh,
Yep.
but I'm so coming from HSA, which was kind of like new team came to the league, and we just continued to win until we wound up in the finals and won again. Um, and I think that new teams definitely have a harder time in terms of power rankings and such at the beginning, just because you guys we don't know much about you, and even if you pick up a bunch of wins, we still don't know exactly what the consistent part of the team will look like. But I'm I'm very excited about Wims and Stubbies. I think that they are just Wims, Stubbies, and any other of the new teams that come in and play really well. I'm all hands down for getting new teams. I think that the if the league can spread to a bunch of different people, that's great. I personally think that THL is one of the friendliest and best communities out there for Hearthstone, and having new players join the community, even not as a team, just to be there and be in chat like you are, or be in Discord, whatever. It's always
Yeah.
fun, and when they perform well too, that's just like they're here to play, they're here to hang out with us, and that's one of the best things. Like not calling any team out, but that's why I'm like, if you join this league and you're watching the stream, and you're thinking about joining the league, be active in the community. Don't DQ or anything. Like play your matches. It's your first season, uh, and just try to do well. Um,
If you're facing
yeah,
Defias, you can DQ. That's fine. We'll take your loss.
yeah. What he said, not my words
Yeah.
though.
Okay. Um, so I think this dovetails nicely when we're talking about new folks coming in. Um, we're really because I think a lot of people get burnt out on ladder and get burnt out on conquest and tournaments, and we're really trying to do something here to give people an interesting way where you can use your creativity and deck building and your strategy and making lineups to really do something. And I think what we've seen is the teams that have done well have taken good advantage of that. And it's something where you see new teams and new people can come in and take advantage of that and win games.
Yeah. Um, I think that performing wise, both of the teams obviously did really well. Um, Thermic Wims kind of pulling up the stats now, but on the season, Thermic Wims went 4-5. Um, so performing wise, they were actually 12th in the league in terms of record and win percentage. Thrown into that from yeah, and I think that as a team, well, Stubbies is one of the best teams in the league, I think. Um, and Thermic Wims, they got into the playoffs. I think they're a really good team. Um, but also, personally, I think that they aren't one of the best teams in the playoffs right now because they did lose to a good amount of the Cyan and Black division teams that are in the playoffs. So I'm excited for them, obviously, like I said earlier. But yeah, and just for those of you who don't know, this is the week one power rankings on the board, so you can ask us questions or just look at it and laugh at how wrong we were. So,
All right, yeah, maybe we can pull this down. Um, so let's go into some more community questions. especially considering with the matchups we've got coming up for this weekend.
I'm gonna mess around in OBS for a little bit so you can just talk a little bit.
Cool. So, folks, we've got some really great matchups this weekend. What I'd love to hear is people want to talk about those specifically, especially the ones we're going to have on stream in the next couple days. But not everybody at once. Please. Does anybody have their thoughts on the matchup between Golden Wisps and Wims? We called that one pretty heavily for Golden Wisps. Who was saying they think Wims is going to upset? Where is that? Max Chief, where are you at, mate? Let's hear your analysis on how Wims is going to upset this one. Or not. Well, anyway, upset. Yes. Can we get who else? Who else is there? Can we have an upset for Wims? Upset incoming.
Let's get a vote in chat going. If you
let's go.
Think that the Wims are going to upset the Team Golden Wisp, let's get a upset. No. Let's get a Bible thump.
Bible thump.
Yeah. So Bible thump for any upsets, and then let's get a what's that guy called? Let's get the blood trail for Team Golden Wisp. Going to take it home.
Odds on purple or blue gets knocked, since black and cyan will at least have one team moving on both. Underdogs, go. Dyslexics, untie. Stubbies versus boys in the finals. Is that even possible? Can we get the bracket back up?
Yeah, that's possible.
All right, Stubbies versus.
I'll get the bracket back up.
So Swagway will win. Let's see. We picked Swagway. Well, I picked Swagway over Xenergy this week. Bible thump. So who do you guys think's going to win SHL? Does anybody follow SHL?
I mean, I went 0-7 in SHL, so let's just say that my association to that league is kind of minimal.
Doc McButt is a lie.
It's Doc McButt, but Art for a Boat. If you get that reference from season 5, then just hit me up in chat.
All right. Can we talk tourneys?
Yeah, sure. I'm pulling that up. I'm trying to get that photo.
I know Asuna has already signed up for our tournament this coming weekend. For those of you who don't already know, we're starting a new series of THL tournaments starting this weekend. We've got strike format. I'm going to be running them every single Saturday. Those of you who've already played strike, I think you guys know what a great strategic format it is. But instead of banning classes, you ban matchups. So your opponent brings 3 classes, you bring 3 classes, and each of you bans 2 overall matchups. So you ban your priest on their druid and their rogue on your warlock. So it's a really interesting and strategic way. I'll be running those tournaments every Saturday. And Wednesday nights, we have Deck Builder's Delight, where we're going to have a series of rotating interesting formats like Paupers, the early days, and Sealed. So maybe we can get that graphic up where folks can see that.
Yep, I am getting that. It should transform as you are talking.
Woohoo! A unique new series of tournaments. So I know Asuna signed up. I'd love for you guys to go sign up and support this, because if we see the support, then we'll be able to run a lot more interesting tournaments in the future.
Yeah.
Who else is
I'm looking at this now, and I didn't really pay attention to the ads earlier, but this looks really cool. Just as an initial insight, I wasn't paid. I promised to say this. So.
And I don't get paid no matter what. So.
Welcome everyone to THL.
THL.
The unmonetized league.
All right. So we're coming down to the bottom of the show here. What I'd love to do is hear folks unsolicited predictions. You listened to us for the last hour. What is everybody's thought? Who's going to win? Who's going to win between Wims and Golden Wisp? Let me see. Bible thump for Wims and Bob Ross for, oh, we don't have that, Destructoid for Whims.
What is this between?
The
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Golden Wisps and Thermic Whims.
So Bible
Let me
Thump
see.
for Whims.
Yeah, Bible Thump for Whims and Destructoid for Thermic Whims. What do we got? Bunny wins due to the red tie. Oh, we got, go go upset.
Hold on, I'll balance it. Don't worry.
Oh, there we go. Here, hold on. No, we got. Here's my thought.
Oh God, the Matrix is breaking.
Oh, we
Ah,
got. Oh
Doctor
no, we got.
Butt.
We
Currently 3-2 in favor uh, Thermic Whims.
oh, there we have it.
And Thermic Whims wins. So Team Golden Wisp is out of the
You're out.
playoffs.
See ya. All right, between Prep Coin Concede and Dirty Mike, let's go. Blood Trail for Prep Coin Concede and Punch Trees for Dirty Mike.
By the way, Punch Trees is a self-portrait of Dirty Mike.
Let's do it. Who you guys got?
Let's go Prep Coin.
So, oh, we got Blood Trail, Blood Trail, Blood Trail. We got any punch trees here other than me?
More. Oh my
Come
God.
on. Oh, we see the love for Dirty Mike
From a Dirty Mike
coming
teammate.
coming through. All right. Swagaway versus Energy. We're gonna do Smork for Swagaway and Ginger Power for Synergy. Let's see it. Smork, Ginger Power. Smork, Ginger Power. Who we got? We have a fickle audience here.
Hey, at least the Scritch guy is responding.
Yeah.
That's a lot of smork right there. How many
All right,
Huffers did you summon today?
All right, what's the count on this?
We got a total of 7 smorks to 1 Ginger Power. 2-1 in people. Up.
Try to balance things out here.
Oh,
All right, final matchup. We got Texas Stubbies and the Doghouse.
let's
Let's
do what?
see.
Okay, so the Stubbies already have a Squid 3 for Stub.
Mhm.
And then Doghouse will be obviously for Doghouse we're doing which one? We're doing Frankers for Doghouse.
Franker Z.
Frankers.
Frankers. Face is the place. We go face. All right, let's see it. Call them out, boys. Let's see them.
Let's get some stubby squids in here. Stop.
Come on, who's got it?
Hey, there we go. Let's get the stub. Give him the stub.
Yay. All right. Final plug here. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock. The first SHL final. Robobson and I are going to be casting Arcane versus Ridiculous Hat. Tune in, same bat channel, not exactly the same time, to see the lovely Last Hero Standing finals.
That was very nice. That was a great plug.
Yep, I try. All right, so I'd say this looks pretty even between the Squids and the Frankerz's.
Yeah.
And there we got Dan's game. How did that one get in here?
I know that was the vote. That was the vote for Philly Hearth. So I don't know what that's doing here.
All right, so bringing this to a close. Final community questions, thoughts, or other ridiculousness.
And while you guys are obviously all typing that in very quickly, I just they'll
I'm in
probably
charge now. Oh,
Probably.
good. Can you please take over?
Okay. Oh God. Oh God. Um. Yeah. No. No more patches, please. But I'm going to probably set up a community poll next week. Uh, I didn't do one this week because I was still figuring out the format of the show. Up until about 2 hours ago this time. Um, but I will probably have a community poll up next week for the remaining teams in the playoffs. So that will only be 4 teams, and most likely you'll just be picking the winner, the finalist, and the 2 teams that get knocked out in the semifinals. Um, this is a lot harder to talk about now because there aren't bad teams, quote unquote, that we have to skip or not skip, go over briefly. And This is just like it's a lot harder now. These are really close matchups, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, so look out Facebook Monday morning, and you'll probably see that poll. And if you want to be a guest on the show, Combat Wombat did it kind of last second, so big kudos to Combat Wombat. Thank you so much. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Glad to help.
uh,
I'm sorry. We got one more stream tonight. We have D Lineman and the Flyer playing later tonight for in THL.
go watch that. Go
Yeah,
watch all the
it's gonna be a
all
good
the
match.
THL and SHL streams. Because they're perfect and nothing goes wrong and everything is perfect in THL.
Streams are always working, right? Oh, final thought. If all of y'all could, I'm filling in for Chigmo this week. Chigmo's on personal time. He had a loss of one of his beloved pets. Rudy is no longer with us, so if we could have prayers going out to Rudy, you will be missed. A moment of silence. Rest in peace, Rudy.
Yeah.
And Chigmo, we're our hearts go out to you. I just think we've all lost a pet, and it's tough. So thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you. It's been a pleasure for me to get a chance to be on this show, and
And
keep it tuned.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out this week. Like Combat Wombat said, go mark your calendars. Go make some popcorn. Get it ready.
Go get a calendar.
Yeah, go get a calendar first of all.
What gamer has a calendar? Like,
Uh, I I don't know. Um,
what? Oh, you're a student, so you actually have to pay attention to what they.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, happy
Cool.
Halloween to everyone.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah,
Thanks for chilling with us on Halloween.
yeah. This is obviously the
Cool.
best thing you could be doing with your life right now.
Great stream, guys. Thank you, Daddy-O. And Scritch, thanks so much for having me on. I appreciate
Yeah, thanks for coming on. You're great, and yeah, everyone have a really awesome week. We hope you all the best, and if you're in the playoffs, good luck.
Love you. See you in Discord. Ciao.
Peace.